the years is listen, ask questions, so that I might already know the answer in some cases, and some, I might not. But the important thing is, for the people who are accountable for finding that answer, really feeling empowered and motivated to do so. And, motivators, again, that depends too. Sometimes fear can be a good motivator. When your parent or your boss slams their hand on the table, that fear has an impact, but that can't be the only motivator that you use, and it's important to know, again, when to lean in and when to lean back.
Yeah. Lee, throughout your career, how did you ensure that you're being heard?
I mean, I think it's learned, as Nancy points out. I mean, as you grow within your career, and even just as an individual, you start to figure things out, what's working, what's not working. Again, it really needs to be situationally based, I think. Take the situation and make a decision on how best you need to react or respond. I also think, again, I've been very fortunate, specifically with my current employer. We're small, and we are encouraged. We are all encouraged to provide our viewpoint, to provide our opinion. So in some respects, what I will say is that I'm aligned with a corporate culture that is very much similar to what I would want to see within a corporation and be part of. So it's encouraged. And again, whether I disagree or I have my opinion is opposed to what's being discussed, it's still able to be provided. It doesn't mean that when you walk away, you've got your way. But I always do feel that I'm heard, and I think it's important. Just choose when, and to Nancy, listen. We really do have to listen. We have to be better listeners. I always say to my 9-year-old son, 2 ears, 1 mouth. And sometimes you're already preparing for the response when you haven't really heard what's being discussed. So.
Eileen, a comment?
So when I was listening to the TED Talk that Sheryl Sandberg did, it's really a fantastic short video. It only takes 20 minutes, and I'd encourage everybody to watch that. I did hear her say, be at the table, and I was fascinated by all of some of the stories that she was telling. So one of the things that she talked about was that when projects are completed and a great work has been done, a man will say that happened because I'm awesome, and a woman will say that happened because I was part of a great team. And I thought that was interesting, and I can see a bit of myself in that as well. And one of the lessons learned there is, take credit for the great work that you do, and don't underestimate your abilities. Now I forget the question. Take credit for the great work that you do, and never underestimate your abilities, and believe in yourself. So those are the things that Sheryl Sandberg talks about. And I do remember that, building on what Lee had said, a very wise man once told me, you're paid to have an opinion. In this business, that's what we do. We sit around the table, we sit at the table, and we make sure that our opinions are heard. Now, people don't always have to agree with your opinion, but that's what you're paid to do. And so, if you disagree or you agree, the counsel from Sheryl is make sure that your voice is heard. Make sure that you take credit for opinion. You're able to defend your own facts, and you're also able to understand when to lean back, when your opinion is either it's not wrong, when your opinion doesn't align with the goal of the project or doesn't align with the goal of the corporation. So I thought that was I think she has some very thoughtful comments in that book and in her video, and it really made me think about my own behaviors and how you know, made me question, which is also a very female trait, like made me question whether I'm always at the table. And being at the table doesn't mean physically sitting there. It means emotionally and, you know, virtually at the table when